Country, let's ride, baby.
How we treating them today? Broncos country, let's ride.
Let's ride. What the fuck? My dumb ass said, let's ride.
Oh gosh.
Broncos fans in the house. Listen, we in the building. How y'all doing?
Listen, I'm ready to get out of here, out your way. I just want to say y'all have a great show. AFC Championship, Broncos versus Ravens. Write it
down. Meanwhile, how's everybody doing out there today? This is the draft recap from the SamzSportz Originals. As you can see, I got my co-host AB with me. Acknowledge him, he said. AB, look, fuck. I don't understand what that is. You muted, sir. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, sir.
Get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fuck Wrong Winner.
Shit. Yo, my bad. We got issues already. My fault.
This nigga drunk already.
Can you hear me? My bad.
Yeah, I can hear you, man. We also got Buck Flair in the house, so we got 2 Tampa Bay fans in this motherfucker. I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I'm just gonna try to hurry to get through this. Best pop ever, as he said. Chad, what up, Chad?
Yo.
Yeah, what's going on? How's everything?
Good, man. Happy to be here.
All right, I even got Chad with me. Now I'm actually excited. Now we're doing a draft recap, and since we got these goddamn Tampa Bay Buck fans in the building, I guess we'll start off with them and we'll ask them exactly. How do you feel about your draft?
AB can go first if you want. You know, he's the co-host. He can go first.
Go ahead, AB.
My draft, for about a month, I say for about a month or two, I've been in my key sweat bag. You know, I've been begging, for the edge rusher from Georgia.
What's his name?
Mr. Nolan Smith. Because like I felt that going into this offseason, like one of our weakest spots on the team was the edge rusher. Joe Tryon, he hasn't really panned out in my opinion. And Shaq Barrett is coming off an injury. So we don't know when Shaq was going to be available for this season. This is why I was wondering if they was going to go that route with Smith or either another pass rusher. It didn't have to be him, but I was hoping it was going to be Nolan Smith. But they went with Kalaja Kancey from Pittsburgh. And yes, we were short on both, like the edge rusher and the D line next to Vita. We've been struggling last season. Like Buck Flair knows that the pass rush wasn't as good in 22 compared to 20 and 21. We struggled pretty much the whole season last year. So with them getting Kancey, pair him next to Vita, and hopefully Hall from last season, our second round draft pick. Hopefully our D line get back to basics, because last year was very pathetic when it came to our D line. The edge, hopefully Shaq is on point for week 1. This is why I was hoping for Nolan Smith, and I was high on Nolan Smith, and people was hating on
me. Ain't no Pete. Don't say people. It was me. Don't you go? It was me. I was me.
No, I'm not saying no. It wasn't just you, but
it was me too. I don't like him.
No, but I was saying because people was like, well, his stats didn't really, he didn't have a lot of stats from last year before the injury. So you know, I'm like, yo, like we need somebody out there for the edge, and like, you know, like Buck Flair can tell you about Joe Tryon. I don't know how he feel about Joe Tryon, but he ain't been that guy yet to me. So
I don't know who y'all feel the same. I'll be honest. I don't know who y'all feel the same. I'll be honest with you. But I know one player that y'all used to feel the same on, and that was number 76. Y'all was the same on him.
Donovan Smith.
Yeah. Well, like I said, first let's say prayers go out to Shaq Barrett. His 2-year-old daughter was found dead this morning at 9:30. She fell in the pool, the family pool, from my understanding. So. And AB is right on because he said we lost our pass rush last year because Shaq was out for one, which really, and then you had Akeem Hickman in there who's older, and our running game kind of couldn't control the run there for a while. But what we did in the draft, I gave us a B. You know, you talked about draft grades and stuff. I gave us a B, and the reason why I gave us a B, it could have been a C+, but I like what we did, picking up Tucker and Rakeem Jarrett, undrafted players, to bring them in. So that's why I gave us a B. I like the wide receiver we took later in the rounds, Trey Palmer. I liked him. He was a top 150 player, wide receiver that's replacing Scotty Miller. But the linebackers, what I want to talk about, the kid from Pitt, Servokia Dennis, yes, inside linebacker. So Devin White starts his nonsense. This kid's gonna get a chance to play. So, you know, and you already got one of your Pittsburgh guy up front playing defensive tackle. So I think that was a great combination to bring both those Pitt guys in at the same time. And Yaya Diaby, he made my top 150 players too. He was on the defensive end for Louisville. So I gave us a B.
Okay.
We didn't really address the safety issue. You know what I mean? So we didn't address the safety issue. That was probably my one concern. So I don't know who's going to be our starter back there in the safety besides Winfield. So we'll see. Shout out to Brian Branch. Talk about a pissed off player this year for Detroit. He was so pissed to be drafted in the second round. That's exactly who I thought Tampa Bay could go ahead and target once he didn't get picked in the first round. Because, you know, teams like to trade up. And, you know, we could have possibly got him, but boy, he's a pissed off player right now for being drafted. So, and also shout out to Ivan Pace Jr., another inside linebacker who was rated 3rd on my board that got picked up undrafted by the Minnesota Vikings, Dennis. Minnesota Vikings. And they also picked up Andre Carter II from Army as a defensive end, Minnesota did. And he was rated a top 100 player. So his whole military thing was what was keeping him down. And I would say shout out to the Browns for taking DeJuan Jones. The man had a fractured foot. You know, he was the biggest tackle in the draft. He projected a late first round, second round. He didn't go until like the 4th round to the Browns. So could have been the 5th. I can't remember, but I just know he went so late and I was kind of shocked. But then I found out he had a fractured foot and he's the biggest guy in the tackle in the draft. So he's like, you know, 6'6", 360 or some shit like that. So fractured foot for a big guy is not going to be good when it comes to playing left tackle, maybe right tackle. We'll see what he ends up doing. So
can I ask you this? So how do you feel about Joe Tryon though? His first 2 seasons.
Joe Tryon, I just think he's still learning, man. You know, he's still learning. This is only going to be his 3rd year. He's still learning. So, you know, he's learning whether he's going to be a edge rusher. I've seen some spurts. It's just like I'm more concerned about the guy we drafted last year, the Logan Hall. I'm worried about
Logan
him
Hall,
being bust. I'm worried about him being bust because I've seen him get pushed around in the trenches. So they might be moving him to the DN and putting Cansey and them guys on the inside. So and they might be putting him on the DN. So we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, I mean, I like Joe Tryon. I'm glad he shortened his name because his other name is wild if you ever seen his last name.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, D-Wick, what's going on, man? Chad must have went to the bathroom or something. Oh, no, he just left. He'll be right back. Well, I was going to wait for Jared to get here to talk about the Eagles, but I guess I'll talk about. Oh no, here you go.
You want me to go, yo? You want me to
Yo,
go?
you come on, talk about the Ravens. Come
No,
on,
we
man.
going 17-0. That's all I got to say, yo.
Never mind.
My
Chad,
bad, Dennis. I don't know what was going on.
let's talk about your Denver Broncos, man. What's going on?
For what we had in the draft, because we only had 4 picks. I'm sorry, 5. We
Well,
had
y'all
3
spent the pick on a coach, so you got to include that too.
I mean, that's perfect. I mean, I like Sean Payton, I guess, a little. But no, I'm just going to talk about our picks from our third round, though. We got Drew Sanders, which I thought was our best pick. I thought he was he was number 1 on my board, right next to Ivan Pace. Only problem with Ivan Pace, I wanted Ivan Pace. Only problem with Ivan Pace, though, was that he was bad in coverage. And I'm not saying that Drew Sanders is any better, but I do think he's a little bit better in that area. But I think we did get a good linebacker. And then, like I said, Marvin Mims. I'm not a huge fan of Marvin Mims. I actually thought we should have got Jalen Hyatt here. I know that's your boy, probably Aaron from Oklahoma. But he is a burner though. At the end of the day, he can take the top off the defense, which we need, especially with KJ Hamler right now at the moment, being inconsistent most of the time. And then our last pick in the third round was Riley Moss. I mean, it was okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him. Jared's a big fan of him. I'm not a big fan of him. He played okay in the Big Ten, but once again, though, just not too much of a huge fan. Very slow to me. He has good technique, though, but we'll see how he does. Overall, though, like I said, our next pick after that was a 6th and a 7th round pick. We'll see if they'll make the draft. J.L. Signer, he's not bad, but if they make the team, but J.L. Signer is not bad, but I doubt that he does. We already got Cade Stearns back there as well too, still trying to even fight for a spot, but I doubt that our 6th round pick does. But all in all, for what we had, which is three third rounders and then a 6 and a 7th, I thought we had a decent draft. We got 2 players that I did like.
Chad, I don't want to cut you off, but Marvin was the last pick of the 2nd round.
My bad. We traded up. That's why I keep saying 3/3.
He said put respect on it.
Yeah, I mean,
man, put some respect on Marvin in the 2nd round, sir. 2nd round.
My bad. I apologize. He shouldn't have. Look, we shouldn't have got him, but it's okay. I know that's your boy, so we'll see how he plays.
I don't understand why y'all need so many wide receivers.
Because Jerry Judy's inconsistent. KJ Hamler's hurt all the time. Cortland Sutton hurt all the time. So that's all 3 of the wide receivers right there. And then
you got the other bull.
Yeah, are you talking about our quarterback that goes from wide receiver to quarterback when we need him, I guess?
No, the one that got injured last year.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Tim Patrick. I did forget about Tim Patrick.
Man, Patrick, that's too many fucking wide receivers.
But we don't know how Tim Patrick is going to play.
Cortland Sutton's on the trade block like eternally too. He's always on the trade block. To be quite frank with you, Cortland Sutton might be gone, and Jerry Jeudy might be gone by end of the season, mid-season, basically.
I would say, Chad, I gave your team a C on the draft just because y'all didn't have that many picks. But I like Marvin Mims.
You got to include Sean Payton in that draft, so.
I like Marvin Mims, and I really like your J.L. Skinner. The reason why he fell was because of his injury. He might not even play this season, so he might even be on one of those where they cut him or keep him or sign him to a rookie deal. But we'll see if he survives his injury. But you got him as a steal. He was graded the 3rd best safety in my board.
No, yeah, I like I said, I think overall we had for what we had a good draft. And no, Dennis, I'm not going to include our coach that we traded a 1st round pick for. I'm not going to include our coach.
That's why y'all traded that 1st round pick.
I include everything that involves the draft. Like if you traded draft picks for something, I count that.
Right, you traded draft picks for a coach.
I'm not trading. I'm not including.
I include trades and UDFAs.
When Tampa Bay traded for John Gruden that year, they won the Super Bowl. That's part of a great draft.
Guess what? Sean Payton ain't John Gruden. And I ain't saying neither one of them is good better or not, but Sean Payton ain't John Gruden, though.
We don't know who he is.
Are you thinking about buying a jersey this season, Chad?
Nah, I probably. Well, I mean, I do have one.
Because Walmart has some great deals since they own the team.
I forgot they do. They actually do own the team. I forgot about that. Hey, hold on. Let me real quick. Let me stop joking. It's not like the Buccaneers gonna be any better than us this year. Y'all got Cal Trask at quarterback.
I thought Baker was the quarterback.
Nah, Cal Trask is their quarterback.
We got I think it's gonna be Baker Mayfield, man. I think it's gonna be Baker.
All right, well, we'll find
What's
out.
going on, Jared? What's going
Jared,
on, Jared?
let's do
Talk
it,
to us, Jared.
Philadelphia Eagles, Jared.
I get well. I'm gonna say for the Broncos, I gave them like a B, around a B plus. I liked what they did, and like Chad said, I'm a pretty big fan of Riley Moss. He's my second favorite player in this draft, but I do think he's talented, and I think he could be a number 2 corner for them. So Chadwick will thank me later when he's doing good.
I'll refuse to thank you later on that.
Whether he's
see.
doing good or not, huh?
I don't think he's going to be good at all.
Wait a minute, didn't y'all get
2-3 years,
y'all got the guy from Virginia Tech too, didn't you?
You can move him to strong safety too if you need to. So he's
we don't need no strong safety.
Drew Sanders was an awesome pickup. Which one?
No, he's from Iowa. My bad, man. He's from Iowa. That's
Riley Moss. Yeah.
Y'all got a guy that's 6'3". That's I don't know if he's safety or corner, but he went to Virginia Tech.
Arkansas, Drew Sanders. That's who they got.
No. This is a safety or a corner.
You talking about a 6'3" safety, J.L. Skinner? They got last.
Yeah.
That's the one that was injured, or whatever. But he was graded the 3rd best safety on my board.
That's what I told him, June.
But that that injury, he dropped dramatically, just like DeJuan Jones did. That's a lot of things we don't know about. These are things that happens on the drafts and stuff we don't even know about. So that's what happened.
I like the Dallas Daniels pickup as a UDFA too, from Jackson State, the receiver for Shador.
I like that.
He's decent, at least decent enough for a UDFA pickup for sure.
Well, let's see where this all goes.
Eagles, there you go. Go ahead, talk about y'all.
Let's do it, Jared. What you got, Jared?
You go first. You know I'm long-winded.
No. That's why you going. Go ahead.
All right. So, like we were just discussing before, I include trades and I include UDFAs. Anything that involves those draft picks from that year, I count towards the value of a draft. So I gave us an A+. Just counting the draft picks alone, I would have only gave us an A-. But I gave us an A+ because we got Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter right away. The first night gave us like a baseline of like a B to a B+ already. Like we couldn't really go below that, I thought, just getting those two. And then I didn't like the Tyler Steen pick. I don't really think he's that good at tackle or guard. He's the one from Alabama. We picked him. Sidney Brown, he has promise, I think, but I just got to see how he plays, honestly. I'm hit or miss with him. And then UDFAs was where I thought we shined. We got Eli Ricks. I think it's the injuries at the end of the day that dropped him to a UDFA because he's got the talent to be he's a first-round talent, in my opinion, at least. Got him. And then we doubled down and got my guy, Mekhi Garner from LSU. It was I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with that because I watched Jarek Bernard-Converse, who was the number 2 corner on the same team, get toasted all year. And he got drafted, and then Mekhi didn't. And then I saw Colby Richardson, our 3rd corner, who also got beat pretty much all year. He got picked up before Mekhi as a UDFA, so I was very confused. So we got him. And so I really liked what we did. We got 4 of my top 20 players, so I can't. That's it.
Well, you know why Ringo.
And we got DeAndre Swift for a 7th round pick swap. So we killed it. Absolutely killed it. The whole process.
Wait, say what you're gonna say, Buck.
I said Ringo dropped in the draft because of his weight.
No, but
yeah,
there was a few rumors.
He put on some weight and stuff, and teams were worried about his speed. So that's why he dropped in the draft. That's what I was told. But the problem
I think it's the tape too. It's got to be the tape too because his tape is not good. So.
I didn't have him. I had him actually as 3rd round talent, believe it or not. I know some people had him in the 1st round and stuff, but I wasn't impressed with him at cornerback.
I had him like 4th round.
I thought the Colts might have tried to sneak him in the 2nd round just because they needed a corner after letting Gilmore go. But anyway, I gave the Eagles an A+. They was the 3rd best draft, I think, of the teams that I saw. So I gave them an A+. And all I can say is that you had 5 studs get drafted, but you also got like Tanner McKee as a backup, which is a great pick, just to somebody to sit behind Jalen. Then
Mariota,
you big defensive tackle from Texas, the last pick, Moro Ojo or whatever name. So that's another good player.
That was kind of like a 7th round flyer. I feel like
yeah,
he's not really going to be a presence or anything. He'll be depth.
Still, I mean, at least he has some talent, because I mean, I had him up there possibly a 4th round pick, and he goes in the 7th or 6th round.
There could be a lot worse 7th round picks for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And then I liked Tyler Steen. You didn't like him, but I liked him. And then I liked and Brown, because he's a ball hawker. He's a playmaker. So I like him too as well. So
okay.
Yeah, but I gave you guys an A+. Dennis knows it already. He knows I said you guys killed that draft in the first day. It didn't no matter what y'all did later on. Y'all gonna have an A+ no matter what with them 2 guys. Because I actually had Nolan Smith going 10th to the Eagles. And that's how high I had him graded. I had him 10th going to the Eagles.
I was my number 9 player.
Out the fucking building.
So really quick, because I like talking shit about Dennis and the people that you like. We gonna talk about Ringo for a second, because I hate how high everybody is on Ringo. That man,
it ain't everybody. It's me. It's just me.
It's a couple.
No, there's a lot of
that
Ringo
man Ringo he has some of the worst technique of any cornerback in this draft. He is slow. There is a reason why he dropped. It's a reason why he dropped. And you keep saying, Dennis, that he played well against good talent. No, he did not. He played well against
big games.
No,
what I said.
He played well against.
It don't matter if you play big games if you're getting toasted.
You needed that man to go out there and get you an interception.
Here we go.
Or become one of the best corners. That man showed up.
Dennis,
all right.
He played.
Had a pick 6 in the national championship game. Come on, man.
Who?
Ringo.
Are we talking?
Remember the name.
Are you talking about the Alabama game where Jameson Williams and Michie was out?
That ain't got nothing to do with me. Your best ability is availability.
I got you. I hear you. But do you remember the game before that when they got cooked the whole entire time? That secondary got cooked the whole entire time, right?
Okay, you won the battle, but you lost the war.
Hold on. Let's go to Ohio State game. That man got cooked.
Oh no, he got cooked. First of all, Ohio State.
No.
Let me know when it's my turn.
There is no corners out there that can hang with Ohio State wide receivers.
I hear you, but
you can't name nobody in the country.
I want you to realize this. Hold on. Not only did he get cooked by Marvin Harrison, they moved him. Then he got cooked by Mecca. And then they moved him again and got cooked by Julian Fleming.
I can't wait for my turn.
None of the 3 wide receivers. He's
my
not
turn.
Good.
You can say my Ringo pick. I'm more. Here's the crazy thing with me. I'm more confident in Ringo than I am Nolan Smith.
Yeah, you're nuts. But
that's me.
No, you could say that. You could say the same things he was just saying about the Ohio State game, and you can replicate it with Jeray Jenkins and Brian Thomas, because they absolutely cooked him when we played them. Mm-hmm. Absolutely could. Jeray Jenkins still has his ankles, I think. And Jeray Jenkins was an undrafted free agent this year. So,
hey Dennis, why don't you like Nolan Smith, bro? Like, I'm just trying to figure this shit out.
I think he's a athletic.
He just wants to.
I want to be honest. Let me say what I mean about Nolan Smith. And I hope I'm 100% wrong about this, because now he's a Philadelphia Eagle.
That's how I feel about him.
But he is an athletic freak of nature. For him to be that much of an athletic freak of nature, why doesn't it show up on the field?
It does show up
on
the field.
And I can see if you was like, oh, he got double and triple team. No. He's one-on-one. He playing with the best D-line in football.
So, see, that's where the misconception comes in about Nolan Smith. He's not a pass rusher. People think he is because of how athletic he is, and that's part of his repertoire, but he's not an edge rusher. He's an outside linebacker, true outside linebacker.
He's labeled as an edge, son.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's a misconception. He's a true outside linebacker.
$30 million a year. Best edges get played 30
and we're moving to a 3-4. A 3-4 that has the outside linebackers doing a little bit of everything. That's why he's a perfect fit, because that's what he is. His best thing is run contain. His absolute best thing is run contain, setting the edge. And people think it's pass rush. Yeah.
You're running 3-4 now?
Well, to be honest with you, we kind of ran a 3-4 last year.
It's going to be a mix of a Vic Fangio defense and our last year's defense. So it'll be Vic Fangio's defense with less blitzing. and more zone coverage over
if,
top.
If you want to be honest, AB, we run a 5-2. There's
Pretty
5
much.
defensive linemen.
But now it's going to be different. That's why we're picking up.
If you want to really be honest.
Okay. All right.
But I give us an A. Only pick that I didn't like was Nolan Smith.
And that's including trades and UDFAs?
No, I like the UDFAs. I was hyped to get Eli Ricks. I wanted Eli Ricks.
And then DeAndre Swift.
Hey, you know I was hyped about DeAndre Swift. That's my fantasy running back.
Like I was saying, you've heard me a million times. I said we don't need a running back. We're good. Like I did not care that we got DeAndre Swift in the slightest for a 7th-round pick swap.
Swift and Sanders is damn near the same, but Swift is a little faster.
Yeah, and they said that him and Rashad Penny are still making less than Miles Sanders.
Right.
Is making. And so it works out.
So if you go back and you think about everybody that the Eagles lost, right? And you're like, oh, y'all lost too many players. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to do it. It's April 30th. We got every player back at a younger and cheaper rate. We got every position filled back at a younger and cheaper rate. Look at Howie Roseman can run for mayor right now in Philadelphia and win. All right? That's how damn good he's doing.
Younger, cheaper, but unproven. Hey. Make sure you say that.
Hey,
and then look at the Jets too. Their GM came from the Eagles.
He's from the Eagles. That's what I'm about to say. The Jets GM came from the Eagles.
And he's the second hottest GM right now.
Since D-Man wrote his stuff in here about the Saints, let's talk about the Saints for a second.
AB was going to say something.
Since that is y'all division, I'll let y'all go first on that. How y'all feel about the Saints draft?
Well, I gave the Saints an A. I gave them an A. I think they hit on. I think they hit on everything they possibly needed, and A.T. Perry, the wide receiver, they picked up 364, huge, big target for Derek Carr. That was a steal late. I think it was like round 6 they got him, but they addressed their defensive front with an edge rusher and I think a D tackle on the first 2 picks. So,
yeah. The Saints always draft well, though. I mean, they always get some good players like every year. So this is nothing new with them. They always like that 2017 draft they had with Kamara and like Lattimore on them. Like, I mean, they always having a good draft like every year. Like they always get good players. So like what they did this weekend, it wasn't nothing new. Like they had to get D-line help.
They got a running back. They got the kid out of Old Dominion. They got him. He was kind of creeping up all the draft boards. Nick Salvaderi or something like that. So they got him an offensive lineman. So they
Zach Kuntz' roommate.
Who's that?
Zach Kuntz.
That's who you're talking about. That was Zach Kuntz' roommate at Old Dominion.
Oh yeah. The 3 Old Dominion players went on the draft. That was kind of wild too to see that up there. Yeah.
That was cool. Well, as a matter of fact, let me fast forward to something else. I'm gonna start with you, Jared. What team draft did you not like?
That I didn't like. Ooh, let me think. There was a few, honestly. I didn't like I wasn't super high on too many drafts. The ones I was high on was basically Arizona, us, and Steelers big time. But who I didn't like,
the Lions, right?
Lions.
You said you like the Lions, right?
But their grade went up a little bit once they traded DeAndre Swift because then it made sense to get Jahmyr Gibbs, but it was still a reach of a pick.
It was a reach, man. That was a reach.
Yeah, but that it helped it a little bit when they traded DeAndre Swift because it made a little more sense.
I don't know.
Yeah. Even though Jahmyr Gibbs is my favorite running back in this draft, it still was a reach. Because the reason why I'm saying
it's checking their whole draft right now
is because you have the division in your hands, and the number one problem that you had last season is fixing your defense. So you should have been drafting defense. Mm-hmm. So I think you should have went more towards fixing your defense than going to go get a running back.
Yeah,
that's why I'm
looking at their draft picks now.
I agree with you. I didn't think that Jahmyr Gibbs was a good pick. I actually didn't like the Lions draft. Too much either. I didn't like the Hendon Hooker pick either. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, Dennis. I do like Hendon Hooker, but Jared Goff is gonna be playing there for the next 2, possibly 3 years, possibly 2 though. I'm gonna say 2. He's gonna be 28 when he starts starting, maybe 29.
He got one more year on his contract.
And he's gonna be there for another year. They're gonna extend him because he's gonna be winning the division this year. They're not gonna trust Hendon Hooker that much. And if you're gonna go with over-reliable, you're gonna go with over-reliable. So he's gonna be there for another 2 to 3 years, I feel like. And at that point in time, you get Hendon Hooker, who's going to be there. He's going to be 30 years old when he first starts starting, who has no game tape at all. That does not work for me.
Here you go.
He's 35. He's 5 years down.
He's going to start the season. He's going to be 26. He's going to be 26 when he starts the season, I think. I will fact check that in a second. But he is not. He's going to be 26 when he starts the season, I think. So by the time he ends up starting, he's going to be 29 to 30.
I think he turns 26 in January, so it's like the end of the season. But he still turns 26 during the end of the season.
But I did like the Brian Branch pick. I will give him that. But I did not like Jack Campbell either. I thought that was a hell of a reach. Like a hell of a reach.
Yeah, I think another team that I think disappointed me in the draft because I think they should have went defense first was the Bills. Being the fact that their defensive coordinator took a year off for health reasons, and when Von Miller got hurt, y'all couldn't get after the quarterback as much. I felt as though y'all should have went defense first instead of going to go get a tight end. That was another one. I didn't see a tight end that was flash in the pan to me like that at all this season.
I actually like that Dalton pick. I think he's the best tight end in the draft, and I think he's going to be great with Josh Allen. I think he's going to bring another versatility what Dawson Knox should have been. If not actually way better.
Anybody else y'all think did bad in the draft?
I'll give you my top 5 worst teams that drafted. My worst team, of course, is the 49ers. They didn't have much in the draft anyway. That was a terrible whatever they kicker, reaching and stuff. So I didn't know what John Lynch was trying to do there. But anyway, didn't address some of the issues. I think 49ers was the worst. I had Miami, based on their picks. They didn't have a lot of picks neither. I mean, how can you give them? So those were the 2 top worst draft picks there. And then my 3rd and 4th actually was the Raiders. I didn't like what the Raiders did. You got to protect the quarterback. Some of the players were just like, they went from Michael Meyer, second best graded. Some of them had him the second best tight end or first, best tight end. And then they got an edge rusher when they have no cornerbacks, hardly any great linebackers or anything like that. Chandler Jones and your boy on the end. So I gave the Raiders I gave them a C-. I gave the Lions a C-. The only thing I liked about the Lions was what did they do that was so kind of funky? They saved themselves in the final day, I think, or the rounds 2 and 3, because they were that was crazy. Both those players were second round grades. They possibly could have waited and got the running back, but I don't think I thought he might go to Buffalo. Gibbs, if he went that far down, or Tampa Bay. I thought Tampa Bay could snag him once they saw Bijan go to the Falcons. I thought that, but Detroit, I was not happy with that. I was not happy with that at all. And then the last team, my top 5 worst team is I didn't like what Cincinnati did. I did not like that pick in the first round, Cincinnati, Myles Murphy. I didn't like that. I mean, I'm a Clemson guy. I can tell you that for them to take, they need to work on their secondary, which they try to do. The best thing they did do is draft a wide receiver, the white boy from Princeton. I can't wait to see this kid play. Yes, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see this guy play. I hope he makes the team. I hope he shows out, because he was another kid moving up under the he was under there, moving in there, and then you got to protect Joe Burrow. Yeah. You got to protect Joe Burrow.
Yeah, it was between the Bengals and Titans for me.
Yeah.
The Titans got Skoronski at least, but I wasn't a big fan of literally any pick the Bengals made. So it's probably them, but the Titans are close. Just I didn't like anything after Skoronski. So those are probably the 2 worst.
I don't know. That defensive coordinator been doing wonders over there, so I don't know. We'll see. Go ahead.
I think the Bengals team is pretty loaded. before the draft, so pretty much it was just they just pick whoever. I mean, like they already set with their starters.
They lost both safeties.
That's when it
but
should
they
be
drafted
drafting
the guy
the
last
best.
year.
Yeah,
they drafted the guy last year, Hill, right?
Yeah.
Was Dexter Hill?
Daxton Hill and Tyson Anderson. I don't like Jordan Battle. Okay. That's why I didn't like that pick.
So, yeah.
I just don't think he's good.
I wasn't a fan of the Washington football team either. They went and drafted.
They got the corner fourth, right? They got.
Yeah, they've got 2 corners back to back, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, why they got so many fucking corners?
Because of your division, that's why.
I mean, they had a few picks I liked.
I like Stromberg in the third. One of their corners I like a lot. I think his name is St. Patrick, St. Thomas, St. something.
You're talking about Benjamin St. Juice.
St. Jude, that's his name.
From Minnesota. He played in the DB backfield with Antoine Winfield there in Minnesota. He's good. I like him too.
I gave the Redskins a B. I like what they did drafting back-to-back cornerbacks. That shows a lot of their needs right there. Because their defense actually was getting very, very damn good in that secondary. So obviously, I like this running back they took late in the round, the kid out of Kentucky.
Yeah, Chris Rodriguez. Yeah. He was very good in college. Yeah. I just don't think he's going to translate. I really liked him in college. You can ask AB. I'd talk about him a little bit.
I'm just saying, I really like. I just like it. I like his attitude and stuff. So he's got a chance to, maybe help Washington in the running game a little bit.
That was one of the 2 picks I liked for them. I liked Ricky Stromberg in the third. I thought that was a solid pick. He's a decent interior lineman. And then Chris Rodriguez. I kind of like the flyer on Andre Jones Jr. from Louisiana. He has some decent potential, and he got him in the 7th.
I like what the Giants did though. I like what the Giants did. The Giants came out smacking. They trying to really make some moves over there.
I gave him a B. They didn't have that many picks. I love
their second pick. John Michael Smith's in the second round.
I don't know about Mazi Smith.
Well, that was Cowboys. Who said that? I mean, are we talking the Giants or the Cowboys?
And I'm talking about the Cowboys right now. I said I like what the Giants did, but I'm talking about the Cowboys right now. And I'm not really a fan of Mazi.
I gave the Giants a B, by the way. I just thought Hyatt was the big steal for them because I predicted that he would go in the first round to the Giants, and they got him in the third. So I was happy about that. Because he fit old Dabo's system. I did like Jalen Hyatt going there.
Man. I wasn't feeling the Cowboys' first pick.
You talking about the Cowboys now?
Yeah.
I gave them a C. Okay. I gave him a C. Yeah, I gave him a C. I mean, really, I kept waiting for that running back to pop off, and it never did pop off for them. I think that was one of their needs. They could have got a decent running back instead of waiting to the last pick to get a running back or whatever. So, yeah, I gave them a C.
They got Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn from Kansas State.
I think that was a good pick.
It was a great draft moment pick.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that too. That was a great draft moment for his dad. But I still like the pick though because he's nice.
Okay. I only like 2 of their picks. Well, 3, I guess. I love the DeMarvion Overshawn pick. He got picked at 90. I had him 37th or something on my board. Overall, he's a good player. He's a good hybrid, and he's gonna. The Cowboys are building a nice core in the middle of that defense with all the linebackers, and now they have Overshown. They're building something interesting in the middle. So we're gonna see what happens there. And then Eric Scott Jr. from Southern Mississippi. I thought that was a good flyer in the 6th, and then Deuce Vaughn was a good pick, I thought too. Other than that, I didn't really like what they did. I don't like Schoonmaker. I think he stinks.
They had to take him because tight ends were flying off the board before they got to him.
There were so many better tight ends to me.
I actually don't mind the Mazi Smith. I wouldn't have got him at 18, but I don't mind it. I watched him personally with Ohio State, and he destroyed our offensive line. So we didn't have no bad offensive line. So he was doing something right. So I'm not saying he's this world breaker defensive tackle, but he's not bad though. I don't like the fact that everybody keeps trying to make it out that he's a bad pick.
Well, they did the same. They did the same thing with Tyler Smith last year.
Ryan Parise. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I just thought there was a couple better defensive tackles.
Right.
I like the.
I'll call your number on that, Brian Brees. I don't think he's that good, but
I like
we'll
him
go
and
on.
Siaki Ika over him.
Oh yeah, Saki. The Uso.
That's my
Yeah,
guy.
but he's the one technique though. That's the reason why I know they didn't make the move with him.
He could because he has.
I look at him like Vita Vea. That's how I looked at him.
Yeah, in a way, Vita Vea is more like athletic, and Siaki Ika is more of like a brute. But Siaki's got decisive quickness with his feet. He's got decisive footwork.
He does. And I think he can move to a 2 technique, not a 3. 2 technique.
He went. I think the Browns got him with their second pick, which was like the 4th round. I liked what the Browns did because they barely had anything and they did well with it. I
love what they did. They got Jones, they got Teller. They picked up a couple. Yeah, that's what I said. They got DTR. They actually had a pretty good draft. They actually addressed some issues with their team.
I gave him B-.
I want to say I liked 2 teams in particular what they did this week, and I think they're gonna be good this season coming up. One team didn't make the playoffs at all, and the other one made it, and they lost to the Niners. I really like what the Seahawks have been building these last 2 seasons.
Right.
They are a team to watch out for, and I think they have a top flight secondary and a top flight receiving core, and it's a team to watch out for in the NFC this season. And the other team is Pittsburgh. I really like what they have right now as far as Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and they got a good tight end. Move.
They got 2 good tight ends now.
They got their quarterback. They got the running back. They got a tight end now. They got 2 tight ends now.
Yeah.
They got the wide receivers. They got the left tackle. Pittsburgh is a team to watch out for this season.
They just need more work on defense.
They're going to be good.
Yeah, they need more work on defense, though. That's
right. They still got to try to win that division.
I love their draft, though. Their draft was great.
They're going to be good. They're going to be good. You know, I mean, listen, they still got T.J. Watt. They still got Minka out there. They still got Cam.
They got players for sure.
You know,
there's just some holes on defense for sure.
I mean, like the cornerback position probably need a little bit of work. They did go get Pat
right
Pete
for a year at least. Pat Pete could be a solid number 2.
Yeah, but you know we'll see what they do. But I really liked what both of them teams did this weekend, and I really liked the Seahawks because I'm sorry, Chad, but they robbed the shit out y'all.
I mean, you don't gotta say sorry. I agree with you. There ain't no reason to say sorry. I know we got robbed.
They robbed y'all with no mask on.
They didn't even put the ski mask on?
No.
No. And listen, Seattle had a good draft last season. You know what I mean? They got Kenneth Walker and all them guys last year. So the only thing I hope is Geno. I just hope Geno Smith can carry that momentum from last season to this season. I don't want to see Geno fall off a cliff, but you know they did pay him, and I hope Geno works out for them guys because they could be a team to watch, man. And you know, I just like what they have, man. Like DK, they got Tyler Lockett, they got Jackson Smith. Come on, man. Like Seattle gonna be a problem, man. And they still got Pete Carroll.
Secondary,
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like you know, they got Bobby Wagner back. Come on, man. Like, you know, Seattle gonna be good, man.
What I will say is I agree with you too. One thing real quick.
Say it. Go ahead. Let it out, Chad.
No, I mean, I actually like Seattle a lot, but they got my wide receiver. I mean, I can't be mad at them. They got Jackson Smith. I can't be mad at them. They picked up everybody I said they should have.
I was waiting for you to go a different direction.
No, I mean, I can't be mad at them. I mean, my team sucks. Front office was terrible that year. But regardless of the case may be, as he just said, Kenneth Walker, I told you last year, Jared, that he was the best running back in the draft, and I still will hold to that.
Yeah, he was number 2 for me. He was on my 50. I think he was number 37 overall.
But then for them to turn around and get Devon Witherspoon, as I said, was the best. Dennis argued me up and down with Keelan Ringo, but I said Devon Witherspoon is the best cornerback in this draft, and they got Jackson Smith as well in the first round. And then they also picked up some good players in the later rounds. Though I look, you can't be mad at the Seahawks. I mean, I can be. No one else can be.
All right, Dennis. This is my number 1 team in the draft, the Seattle Seahawks. I had Philadelphia 3rd. I had Seattle number 1. Easy when it came to you got the number 1 cornerback, you got the number 1 wide receiver came off the board, and they got that in the first round. 2, later on in the rounds, they got 2 Michigan guys. One was a mean son of a guy. I can't pronounce his name. Ole Osagini or something like that. He's a center guard from Michigan. And then they got a defensive end, Mike Morris, later in the draft too as well. So, and then they got my favorite running back in this draft that I didn't have him high on the board. I didn't have him all high on the board, but
Charbonnet.
I'm not even talking Charbonnet.
Oh, really?
I'm talking Kenny McIntosh. I'm talking Kenny.
That's what I was saying. They got a trio now.
Okay.
They got a trio
I'm
now.
saying they have a steal in that guy right there. You talk about a bruiser, a good straight catcher out of the backfield for Geno. It's going to be interesting to see how this whole running back core now. They got 3. They got 3 running backs.
They got a full committee. They're ready to go, and they got a full committee. They're ready to go in the running.
Seattle gonna be tough, dog. Seattle gonna be tough, dude. I'm telling you this right now.
Now they added Kenny McIntosh as the last pick. I said, are you kidding me?
Yo, they gonna
Dennis doesn't want to believe it.
Dog. They're gonna be good, man.
Didn't they get an offensive lineman too?
Yeah.
Who they get on the third?
They got a center. They got a center. They got a center in the guard, I think.
Was it the kid from Wisconsin, Joe Tipton?
No, he went to the Jets.
Oh, okay.
Was it what's his face? Juice Scruggs?
Juice Scruggs. Was that it?
That was it, right?
Yeah, he came from Penn State. Yeah.
So they got so many draft picks to keep track of.
Yeah, so there you go. So Seattle was easily my number 1. I said the Eagles were 3, Dennis. My number 2 team that I really enjoyed seeing was the Colts. I just thought the Colts.
They did well.
They really, really rocked it.
They stole Josh Downs.
With needs and everything. Yeah.
When they got Josh Downs, I was like, whoa, that was a good pick.
I'm not super high on Julius Brents, the corner from Kansas State, but he fits their system perfectly, so I think he's going to play really well.
But also, they got guys late in the round, in the 7th round. Did you guys see this? They got Jalen Jones, cornerback from Texas A&M, who was possibly a top 10 corner.
I had him top 75.
Then they got the big offensive tackle, too, from Michigan Tech, Jake Witt, who was flying way up on the board in the OT room. They got him in the 7th round, too, as well. And they also drafted their O-line help. So Anthony Richardson, I think he's going to start. I don't think Gardner Minshew is going to go out there, but I think he's going to go out there and start. I think Andy Dalton's probably going to start in Carolina first. And I don't think he's going to Bryce Young, but we'll see if Bryce Young, they make him the first game day starter. We'll see how they play that out. But I think Anthony Richardson's going to start no matter what in Indy. And Indy, I thought was a team that was going to be like not that great this year coming up, and they fixed a lot of things right there. New coach, new OC.
The problem is quarterback play still. Yeah, Anthony Richards is not going to be good at first if he is at all. Like at first, he's definitely not going to be good. He is not NFL ready at all.
Not going to be good at all.
And I don't think he has a high ceiling. I just
don't
think he's that good.
Whoa! Can my man get the camp first?
We'll see. It's all projecting.
He can't get the camp first. I apologize, but he can't get the camp first.
Listen, AB, that's what we're here to talk about. We're projecting. We're talking as if what we think is going to happen.
I just need to hear.
I could be very wrong.
I just need to hear why y'all feel like he was the 4th pick, but for what though? I mean, was this because he's fast and he jumps high? Because his throwing arm was shit.
bad decisions. He's just not that accurate, but we'll see. We'll see.
Let my man work. Let my man work. Let my man work, Chad. Let him work.
Yeah, besides the Eagles at A+, I thought the Cardinals probably had the second best draft. I love what they did. Their first 3 picks, they didn't have to move around. They gained a lot of – because that's the thing, too. They gained a first-round pick next year, I think a third-round pick next year, on top of drafting their first 3 picks, and were, in my opinion, 3 players in my top 20. So they got Paris Johnson, who was my third best prospect overall. I think he's fantastic. That was a great pick. They needed the protection. Then they turned around. They got my guy B.J. Ojulari, my number 6 prospect, at 50 overall. And then they could turn around and get Garrett Williams in the third, my number 18 overall. I think he's a really good corner out of Syracuse. Their 4th pick was that dude, Michael Taylor, I think's his name. I'm blanking on the last name. I didn't watch too much of him.
Michael Wilson, wide receiver.
Michael Wilson, yeah, he's a project. Yeah. But he's a high reward project if he develops well, for sure. So they experimented. They got picks for next year.
Stanford, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Let me answer that question from June. Why I don't think he'll start? One, Frank Wright is the quarterback or coach for the Carolina Panthers. So he might want to start Andy Dalton because he's more comfortable working with we all know this. We already know it. The only reason why he's in Carolina is because the owner forced Frank Wright's hand already. He's already this guy might be as bad as Jerry Jones, you know what I mean? When it comes to interfering with your team. He had Dennis's guy there at one time, Matt Rule. Matt Rule was there, you know, and
had Joe Brady as the pass game coordinator.
Yeah, Joe Brady
QB coach.
Well. So this guy, this owner, and I don't know if Frank's gonna start Bryce Young. I wouldn't be surprised. It just depends on what happens in training camp, but he might feel like he can learn under Andy Dalton a little bit because the man ain't but like 5'5" or something like that. Quarterback.
No, height don't matter that much.
Come on, man. He got no 5'5", yo. He's not like 5'5", yo.
His height was never the issue. It was his frame. It was his frame at that height.
But no. On the real note, I don't think Frank Wright actually wanted him at all, and it's still funny because he definitely didn't. He wanted he wanted C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson, but he definitely
I always thought they wanted Anthony Richardson.
Wait, how you know who? Wait, how you know who he wanted?
Bro, you can look. No, Aaron. No, look. I want you to go back, look at the pro days. Look how his face is. Just look how Frank Wright is like when he's talking to each one of them. That motherfucker was not excited at all at Bryce Young's pro day. He was just sitting there looking like, this motherfucker ain't shit. That's literally the face he was looking.
And then when he visited Carolina, Josh McCown had him, and CJ was sitting there talking to him. Said, he said, I want to shoot some hoops. He said, don't worry, man. I know where we can play some ball down here. See what I'm saying? All this stuff was going on. You know, people don't catch up on that stuff. I'm like, C.J. Stroud going to Carolina. Frank Wright's used to coaching guys at 6'3". Now, all of a sudden, these scores get released. Fucks up all the draft, ideas because he's got such a
the Texans released that shit.
You know
I believe the Texans released that shit, personally.
Release
that was all the setup. You notice they got the second pick, got CJ, immediately got the third pick. Yeah. How the hell you get the third pick that goddamn fast? You just made the second pick.
They wanted Will Anderson more than any other player on the board, and they was going to do anything they could to get him. And once they drafted,
and they did a good job. They did a real good job.
You know why they did that, Dennis?
Because
once they would not have drafted C.J. Stroud, they knew somebody would trade with Arizona to get that third pick, and they wouldn't get Will Anderson.
Right.
They wouldn't be able to get him. They'd have to give up some more stuff to get Will Anderson because probably the team that moved up would be taking a quarterback probably because they would be wanting to get C.J. Stroud. So they might have been screwed on that deal. So they did that. As soon as they drafted Stroud, it was like, we got our best player with this trade with Arizona. That's why I thought Arizona, I gave him a B. I wasn't that super impressed with them doing that, but still I gave him a B. Arizona did.
Because they loaded up for next year. They loaded.
Yeah, they got a first round pick and the player they wanted still. They wanted Paris.
Yeah, they got like two first rounders, two third rounders, two fifth rounders. Yeah.
Paris Johnson was their guy, and they traded back and got him. They got a first round pick and a third round pick to trade back and still get their guy. That's fantastic.
I think I had him taking an offensive tackle. I'm just saying
As a matter of fact, when they took Paris Johnson, that's when I was like, we might get Jalen.
That was one of those draft
That's when I
picks where I
started
was
the
like,
Russians at first.
that was one of those draft picks where I was like, the NFL's is smart
Dennis,
sometimes.
You know, Ron Thomas was sitting there going, and all them Georgia fans was sitting there. They was gonna get Jalen Carter back down there in Georgia for Atlanta.
And then when they got Bijan Robinson, you should have seen me in the stadium. I was going through. I said, "We got Jalen Carter." Like I'm saying, they was like, "What are you saying? We got Jalen Carter."
He was running that Orlando.
I was in a locker room. This is they almost kicked me out of the locker room. I'm in a locker room, 40. And I'm sitting there at Jordan Davis' locker, right? And there was somebody next to him. I said, I don't know who's gonna be here, but it's gonna be Jalen Carter right here next to Jordan Davis. All right, this is his new locker. And they was like, you don't know that. I said, no. That's where he's sitting at. He's sitting right here. And put them right next to each other. So if y'all see them sitting next to each other in the locker room, just know I already picked the seat before he got there. Don't even worry about it.
That's a good pick for you.
We got to do this top 10 power rankings.
Oh hell no!
Was y'all ready for the top 10 power rankings?
There's a lot to ask right now.
I mean, I can start it off since y'all not ready. I can start it off, man. I can start it off. Let y'all know. Let y'all know y'all gonna get mad at me, and when y'all get mad at me, that's just when y'all get mad at me. But
we can all agree Philly and Kansas City, though, right? Number 1 and 2, Philly, Kansas City. 1 and 2.
I got Kansas City number 1. I don't got Philly. But number 10.
Start from 1. Start from 1.
No. Start from power rankings. Go 10 down. Number 10. The Detroit Lions is number 10. Number 9. The New York Jets. Number 8. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 7. The LA Chargers. Number 6. The Miami Dolphins. Number 5. The Dallas Cowboys. Number 4, I got the Buffalo Bills. Number 3, I got a tie, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Bengals. Number 2, San Francisco 49ers. Number 1, Kansas City Chiefs.
You like the 49ers over the Eagles?
Yeah, I think the 49ers are stacked, man. I think they're stacked.
Eagles ain't stacked?
They got better linebackers than us. That's where they hitting at.
They had better linebackers than us last year.
And they was better than us. They was a better stacked team than us last year.
All right. I think it's Eagles, Chiefs 1-2 easy.
I think that the 49ers got a better running back. I think the defensive line. I think we barely went on defensive line.
No, they beat us on defensive line.
They have the better tight end. They
kill us on defensive line.
I don't think they kill us.
What do you mean?
I don't think they kill us because
they got our best D lineman from last year, and he's their third best D lineman.
Yeah, they definitely kill y'all on defensive lineman. Like no,
they got Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead.
Like y'all,
I think they still have D Ford. Now they have Javon Hargrave. It's a slaughtering.
I don't think it's a slaughter, but I think it's slightly better.
It's a slaughter.
It's a slaughter. It is. Like, hey, Dennis,
Jordan Davis ain't shit. Yeah, Jalen Carter.
Jordan Davis ain't shit. And I still need you to understand why he ain't shit too. Because
I ain't never saying it was Jordan Davis.
No, Dennis agreed.
I'm not a big Jordan Davis fan.
Last year either.
All right.
Right.
We were the same. We both like Jalen Carter, but don't like
But I love Milton though. I love Milton.
He should have. Like, we should have never drafted Jordan.
That motherfucking Jordan Davis can play 2 plays every 2 series.
Yeah, it's atrocious.
All right,
and he ain't even that good when he's on the
field. Let me get my top 10 power rankings, starting with 10 and going all the way up.
Go ahead.
Number 10, I got Jacksonville, Duval, number 10. Number 9, I got Baltimore because Lamar came back, so I got 9 Baltimore. Number 8, I got the New York Jets because they got defense and they got Aaron Rodgers. Number 7, I got Miami because they got Jalen Ramsey, and that's what I'm going to keep at.
The whole secondary.
Miami. Number 6, I got Buffalo Bills just because they got a tight end that could possibly open up the field, and they got Josh Allen. And Stephon Diggs is still happy right now, so I'm going to keep it at that. Number 5, I like the Seattle Seahawks at 5. I like what they did in the draft. I think
top 5 team. Wow,
they got top 5 team. Seattle, yes. Remember last year, a lot of folks had them finishing in the bottom and all that kind of good stuff. And They outshowed themselves.
He's
Number
draft
4,
drunk.
I got Kansas City Chiefs currently right now, based on what they drafted.
Oh hell no!
All right, man. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, Chiefs at 4. Come on, Buck.
I'm out.
Come on, Buck.
I'm out. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be blessed.
Number 3, I got San Francisco 49ers. I got the 49ers at number 3. Quarterback concerns right there as far as that can go. Number 2, I got Cincinnati. I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 2.
Kansas City better than Cincy?
I like Orlando Brown. And then 1, I got Philly.
I get it.
I got Philly still number 1 in the best team right now. So I got Philly, Cincy, and possibly Super Bowl. And I got Cincy, Kansas City battling to play Philly and San Francisco, kind of like the same scenario right now as far as that goes. Top 4 teams.
Cincy at 4 or not Cincy?
All right,
Kansas
let's
City
do
at
it.
4.
What y'all got?
Cincinnati at 2.
Y'all flip the
Cincinnati
critique,
2.
man. What y'all got?
It's
He had
Eagles.
Seattle
Chiefs
in the
are
top
1 and
5.
2.
That's what shocked
However,
the shit out of me.
Chiefs
All right.
1, Eagles 2, and then there's bubble teams
All
like
right, I'm
the
gonna go.
Niners.
All right, I'm gonna go real quick. KC number 1. They the champs.
Didn't
They're the
get any
best team in the
worse
league
either.
with the best quarterback, best head coach. Can't beat that. Number 2 is the Eagles. Great draft. Pretty good team. Super Bowl contenders. This man getting fed crackers on live. San Fran number 3. I like what San Fran have built. Even though they didn't have a whole lot of draft capital this draft, but they pretty good team. Number 4, I have the Bengals. Joe Burrow, pretty good quarterback, MVP candidate. Number 5, I got the Bills with Josh Allen. 6, I got the Cowboys. They're gonna be real good, especially on defense this season. 7, I have the Ravens. You said what?
No, I want you to finish because after you finish it, I'm going to ask you a question. Go ahead.
Number 7, I got the Ravens. Lamar Jackson is locked in. They got Odell. They got Zay Flowers. They got to stay healthy, though, for the season, though. They got to stay healthy. Number 8, Miami Dolphins. Pretty good secondary, pretty good receiving core. But everything depends on Tua, though. Number 9, Seattle Seahawks. And 10, the Chargers.
You got them Cowboys in your top 10. Okay.
I got them in
Buck's
my
just
top
living
10
the
too.
life over there right now, getting fed.
I mean, Cowboys
I want to
got one of the
know.
better rosters.
Can I get some crackers? Can I get some caviar and some crackers, please? Can I get some crackers?
Hey, AB, I just got to ask a question. So the Bengals are now number 2 in the AFC after a couple of days?
No, I talked to you. I said,
yeah, thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chad.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's go.
Hold on. I said the Bengals and Cincinnati, they was like neck and neck. And I told you that the Bengals are
Cincinnati, sir. The Bengals are Cincinnati. Just let you know that.
The Bengals in Buffalo. You know what I meant. Listen.
No,
KC,
sir. We can't make these mistakes. You can't make them either. God damn it, all right?
Okay, listen. Hold on. KC is top tier, right? They're the best team in the league.
KC number 1. But you had the Bills number 2.
I said the Bills and the Bengals, they could go neck and neck for night number 2. So, I mean, if I put the Bengals 2 or the Bills 2,
I'm out.
It don't matter.
I'm out.
What you mean?
Can I get some
crackers? Well, listen.
But just a couple of days ago, I had an argument with him. I said, how is it that you got the Bills over the Bengals? And he said, the Bills are better than the Bengals. And I was like, where? The Bengals just beat the Bills and they hit and they crib.
Yeah, hey, you was tripping
in the playoff game.
Come on, beloved.
But listen.
Oh,
my list, they 4 and 5.
Got it. Ooh.
Hold on.
I like this. You
don't have no one.
I like this.
Come on, beloved.
Listen. 4 and 5 for me is the Bengals and the Bills. All right. I still like San Fran. I still like what they have got over there, but they gotta stay healthy. Like last year, they had some injuries. Last year, they gotta stay healthy. And like who else you got a question? The Chargers?
No.
I'm not too high on the Jets yet.
I got the Chargers on my joint. Chargers number 7 on mine.
Okay. All right. What you got, Jerry?
Y'all didn't have Jacksonville. Y'all didn't have Jacksonville.
Jerry, you want to go?
I got Jacksonville number 8.
Go ahead, Chad.
I got Jacksonville number 8.
No. Okay.
You want to go, Jerry?
AB didn't have Jacksonville in his top 10.
No, you can go first.
All right, that's fine. Only reason I got the Chargers over Jacksonville because I think the Chargers are more talented, and with the addition of Eric Kendrick, I'm giving them the edge.
Trevor Lawrence.
Go ahead, Chad.
But hey, I'll get started. KC's number 1 easily. No question about it. They had the best quarterback in the league at that. I got Philly at number 2. And then I got San Fran coming in, the best defense in the league, right next to the Eagles. Just quarterback problems. I still think Brock Purdy's their quarterback. Brock Purdy's their quarterback of the future, but obviously we'll see with that. Then I got the Bengals coming in next. Everybody knows how high I am on the Bengals. People think I'm a Bengals fan, but I'm not. And they got Orlando Brown in the offseason that people keep forgetting. So I think that's a huge win for the team. For number 5, y'all gonna be mad, but I got the Jets there. 100% I got the Jets. I think the addition of Aaron Rodgers to an offense and the defense that was already beating teams with Zach Wilson and Mike White, and then you add in a 4-time Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, I got the Jets there easily, 100%. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. At 5, 100%. You can write it down, note the name. They're gonna win the division this year too. So
I got it written down.
I want you to write it down. Listen.
Wait. He said Jets better than the Eagles. Is that what he said?
No, he said the Jets are better than the Bills.
100%.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, no, I agree.
So hold on. Let me explain it to you though. They split with the Jets. I mean, they split with the Bills last year, y'all, with Zach Wilson. Just imagine if they had a quarterback all year. And they were missing Breece Hall too. The person that running back that literally was killing the NFL.
Mekhi Becton.
So just like they missed Mekhi Becton. Just imagine when everybody's back and now they have Aaron Rodgers. Just imagine what they're gonna do. Like it's not.
Chad,
even
you might be right. You might be right because you said the same thing about Tom Brady going to Tampa.
I did.
Just imagine they had Tom Brady said it was turnover machine Winston. Just imagine if Tom Brady was there in Tampa Bay with that defense that he had.
Look at how bad the Bucks were for like 20 years.
Now we imagine Aaron Rodgers. Just imagine Aaron Rodgers over there.
I'm just saying. I'm not wrong most of the time. But look, let me.
I got him as top. I got him in top 8, but kudos for you for having him in the top 5 for you. I mean, I got him number 8, but I ain't got him in top 5.
It's fair though. So I said 5, right? I had 5 Jets. Number 6, I'm actually going with the Bills. 7, I got the Dolphins. 7, I got the Cowboys. 8, I got the Dolphins. And then after that, I got the Chargers and then the Seahawks at 10, rounding out my top 10. Baltimore Ravens are literally like right there with the Seahawks though. But I don't trust. Like I said, I love Lamar, but when it comes down to passing wise, it's no. It's a no for me at the end of
the day. And June agrees with you, Chad, that the Jets are higher than the Bills. Jets best team in New York, huh?
I just want June to know one thing before I got to log off here, but I got him to let him know. Go Big Blue, and I'm tell you what, you got a hell of a damn cornerback. It was my favorite cornerback in the draft, Deontay Banks. He's a badass. You got him, and then you also turned around and got Jalen Hyatt too. So you guys were killing the first
skipped over their best pick
2 days. I mean, you got everybody that I thought you needed. Then you end up getting your guy in a second, the best center on the board, in my opinion.
Easily,
so you got to protect Daniel Jones now. So you guys did great. I think your defense is stud worthy, getting up there. I mean, that defense with Thibodeau and them guys playing linebackers, it's gonna be ugly, and this whole division is gonna be ugly. This whole division is gonna be ugly. The AFC is gonna be ugly because y'all play each other. So y'all gonna be some 2 ugly, beaten up teams because y'all playing each other, and you're gonna let a team like Jacksonville or San Francisco or Seattle sneak in there because they're gonna be beating each other up all season long. That's a hell of a matchup this season. I can't wait to see all these matchups with the Buffalo and Dallas and Philadelphia and Buffalo and the Jets now getting to play the Cowboys now. You know what I mean? So
Philly by 30.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
really quick before you go, Jerry, can I ask something though for Dennis and Aaron? Because y'all was just so astounded by the Jets being that high. Can I ask y'all last season what was their biggest opportunity last season? What were they missing? Because it wasn't DB, it wasn't even wide receiver, it wasn't running back. What was their biggest opportunity?
I'm going to say they need another defensive lineman to go with Quentin Williams and the quarterback as well. Because they need to get after as bad as they needed a quarterback, they also need to get after the quarterback.
So you heard what you just said. You said quarterback and another defensive lineman, correct?
Right.
So,
but that doesn't solidify them as the best team in the AFC East.
Their team literally matches.
I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. It's a team that I hate a lot, but they're the most talented team in the NFL, the LA Chargers. But they can't beat Kansas City. All right?
They can't beat.
So it don't matter how much talent you got. You got to beat a man, you got to beat the man.
But Dennis,
that's the way it goes.
Dennis, what I'm trying to explain to you is this, though. What did they win? 9 games last year? 8? They won 8 or 9 games, correct? Last year or 7? They won 7.
They won 7 and 10, I believe.
They won 7 games with 2 of the worst quarterbacks in the league. I want you to realize that.
You're great. That's a great analogy. That's what we're all saying. But what I was saying is that now you got Aaron Rodgers going there. That's like saying when Tampa Bay got Tom Brady, they was the number 1 team in the NFC.
They wasn't. They wasn't.
Nobody said that. Now you're saying when Aaron Rodgers becoming the number 1, team in the AFC East because you got him over Buffalo and Miami.
Listen, I'm going to explain something to you, and they can. Well, one of these people on here could actually vouch for it. As soon as Tom Brady went to that team, because you had all the pieces, you had Mike Evans, you had Chris Godwin, you had all the defense in the world. Yes, I said you all were probably going to win the NFC. Aaron, I told Aaron that, and Aaron.
But y'all did. They did win the NFC.
Did they not win the Super Bowl the first year?
They won the Super Bowl, but they ain't winning. They didn't win that division.
I'm sorry. They were going to go to the Super Bowl and win. I said that. I said they were going to go to the Super Bowl and win. But that team that the Jets have is better than the team that the Bucs had, and the division. And
come on now.
I just said they was younger. That's all I said.
Rookie running back, rookie wide receiver. I mean,
well, they ain't rookies no more.
They are not rookies. They're not rookies no more. First of all,
but you say they just as good as that Bucs team who had Mike Evans and Godwin who've been in the league a lot longer.
I want you to realize that Garrett Wilson. I want you to realize Garrett Wilson just put up 1,000 yards with Zach Wilson and Mike White. Just imagine what he does with Aaron Rodgers. Just imagine.
I'm just telling you, Mike. I want you just to realize. Mike Evans caught over 1,000 yards too with Josh McCown. And
he had
Mike
Glennon the whole entire time. No, he had James
and Fitzmagic. Don't forget Fitzmagic.
Yeah, I hear you, but they're all better than Zach
Wilson. They're all better than Zach Wilson.
They're all better than Zach Wilson. Like, not one quarterback his name wasn't.
We're going to see, Chad. We're going to see. What you got for us, Jared?
Schedule come out May 11th, y'all. That's the best news I heard today because I was really upset with this NFL draft that they kept showing it like, oh yeah, the schedule's coming out soon. The fuck you mean soon? You don't have a date. This is the draft. You don't have a fucking date. I don't know. How do you not have a date? Shit like that just pisses me off.
It's a pandemic, sir.
Man, they got a system. They got a system. You already know the teams is playing each other. They got a system.
Facts.
Plug and play. It ain't like they doing that shit manually like back in the day, and they forgot a team. They got a system and they hit a button.
I agree with that analogy, though, Buck. I do agree with that.
What you got for us,
my top 10? Let's go.
Yeah. We waiting on yours.
1 and 2
as you see AB writing these down so he could come back and get your ass later. Just let you know that. This is why he writes this shit down. Don't think he don't write this shit down to make a Facebook post about you. I have plenty of Facebook posts that he has written about me. And don't worry, I got my shit from the little special box. That's why I couldn't wait for him today to say, oh, the Bengals are number 2. What? Not after you wrote down that the Bengals was fucking number 3.
Not AP.
Moving on, beloved. Moving on.
Oh, now it's moving
Jay,
on. It's cool when you do
what
it.
you got for
It's
us,
a problem when I do it.
Said,
I see it, AB. Then the motherfucker gonna say that the Bengals in Cincinnati are my 2 and 3. That's the same fucking team, sir. Come on, beloved.
Come on, beloved.
Yo, what you got, man, for number 1, Jay?
Well, 1 and 2 is obviously Kansas City and the Eagles. Both teams were in the Super Bowl last year, and neither team got worse. Eagles got a lot better. And then those next few teams would be, for me, the Dolphins. I think they're incredibly loaded. They have the best secondary I've probably seen since the no-fly zone and the Legion of Boom. And they could compete with those, I think. I think they will be able to compete with those secondaries. I love what they have. The Jets right there with the Dolphins. You got the 49ers are still up there. I don't think they're better than the Eagles in any way, but I like what Seattle's doing. I think I don't see them like with those top 5 teams. I see them maybe back half top 10. Who else? Chargers. I really like what they did. I thought Eric Kendricks was a giant pickup. I thought they had a pretty good draft. And then they picked up my guy Tywan Mullen, who I think could emerge as the third corner for them. They'll have J.C. Jackson back this year, so I like the Chargers a lot. I think they're up there with the Dolphins, Jets, and the Bills are still the Bills. I think they are getting older, and they still have a few spots and weaknesses they can get attacked at. So we'll see. But, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't have like a real specific order besides 1 and 2.
All right, I got you.
I'm here to let y'all know Asante Samuel Jr. is the best corner on that team. Just want to let y'all know.
No, he's not. But he's very good. Very good number 2.
You said on the Chargers?
He's drunk. He's drunk.
Over J.C. Jackson?
Leave him be.
I had nothing but that.
It's a mixer. It's fine. It's a chaser.
I ain't chasing nothing. Man.
Okay. Hey,
J.C. Jackson, sir.
Okay.
So who you think gonna have like the best rookie season out of Richardson, Stroud, and Young? Who you think gonna perform the best?
Young.
You said Bryce Young?
Yeah, I think Bryce Young.
I'm going Richardson.
No bias, but I'm going Stroud.
He even knew it was biased.
That's a tough one there. I mean,
I will say this though. Bryce Young has I think Bryce Young has the better weapons.
Yeah.
And he has a better quarterback-friendly coach as well.
I
but I also don't think he's going to be starting at first. I actually think Andy Dalton
better team overall too.
Yeah,
I would be
but I also think
surprised
Andy
to
Dalton's
see
going to be starting.
the kid out of Minnesota or the kid out of Minnesota or the kid out of LA be up there with Quentin Johnson and Jordan Addison. They're going to have some. They're going Justin Herbert and with Jefferson there too. You got to double, triple team him. You're going to open up some catches for these kids too as well. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, he was talking about the quarterbacks.
Oh, I thought you said which one's going to be rookie.
Oh, I know what rookie's going to have the best year, but I'm not going to say it because I'm in fantasy football.
I hope he wasn't talking about Quentin Johnson's old T-Rex jump ball ass arm.
No. I don't like him at all. Anyway.
That's a Charger. Dennis. You're going to have to like him.
The guy that I think is going to be rookie of the year, I can't say because I'm in fantasy football leagues with y'all. So
okay,
they drafted Max Duggan in the drafted Bulls.
Y'all still my players, so
Hey, but I will say this right here: if the one team in the draft that I give kudos to is the Rams. You know what? I tell you, I gave the Rams barely made. They right there at number 10 is the best draft. But if you look at what the Rams drafted, I mean, it's just crazy with the amount of picks that they started out with, not until the second round, but they really did improve their team. I mean, they got they got Zach Evans running back. They also, got another Chase Brown running. I think he was there too as well. So and I think the Rams, they did a good job in their draft. I really do. I was impressed by the Rams, the way they rebuild and everything. But
I didn't like too much what they did until later on.
I gave New Orleans the fourth best draft. You know what? I thought they had a hell of a draft. I thought picking the quarterback was a killer because I didn't no way think that they was going to take a quarterback, and as soon as they did, I said, boom, it's going to happen again. And next thing you know, the kid from Houston's gone just like that, back to back. And then they started drafting the next. That's why I knew Tampa Bay wasn't going to get a quarterback then. I said, well, once they lost those first two guys there, anybody could care less about the next ones down the list, because those were the two top tier after these other guys went. So, yeah. So, anyway, but I thought the Bears did good. I had the Texans at number 5. I thought Pittsburgh. I actually gave Green Bay high regards. I gave them an A2 as well. So, yeah, Green Bay, I thought they did well. Not in the first round.
They got the wrong wide receiver.
Not in the first round.
Yeah, I didn't like their draft.
So they got the wrong wide receiver. First round.
They got a steal. They got steals in those later rounds. Carl Brooks is a hell of a defensive tackle. He's a hell of a defensive tackle. They got a steal there. And they also picked up another wide receiver that I like too as well. Wicks, I think that's what his name was. Dontavian Wicks. I think he went there. So
yeah, I didn't really like any of their picks.
Yeah. So, but I thought they did good.
I want to. Well, with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Make sure y'all come out the May 20th when we have our brunch pop-up podcast in Baltimore. Anybody got any last words? I know Buck Flair got to go. Anybody got any last words?
Woo!
You got all your notes, AB? You got everything written down? You're good?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I'll do.
All right. God bless y'all.
Have a good night.